The place of the Bodhisattvas in the assembly. Sutra. The Buddha was also accompanied by Bodhisattva Mahasattvas. Sastra. Question. If the order of seniority is followed, the Bodhisattvas come first, then the bhiksus, the bhiksunis, the upasakas and the upasikas, for the Bodhisattvas come right after the Buddha. If the reverse order were followed, first would be placed the upasikas, then the upasakas, the bhiksunis, the bhiksus and finally the Bodhisattvas. Why are the bhiksus mentioned first here, then the three assemblies bhikshuni, upasaka, upasika and then, last, the Bodhisattvas? Answer. 1. Although the Bodhisattvas come right after the Buddha, they have not destroyed all their afflictions, this is why the arhats are spoken of first. In the arhats, wisdom is small, but they are already ripened, in the Bodhisattvas, wisdom is rich, but they have not destroyed their afflictions. That is why the arhats are spoken of first. There are two kinds of Buddhist doctrine, the esoteric and the exoteric. In the exoteric, the Buddhas, pratyekabuddhas and arhats are all fields of merit because their afflictions have been destroyed without residue. In the esoteric, it is said that the bodhisattvas have obtained acquiescence in the teaching of the non-arising of dharmas. That the defilements are destroyed, that they possess the 6 superknowledges and that they work for the benefit of beings. It is from the exoteric point of view that the sutra places the arhats before the bodhisattvas. 2. Furthermore, by the power of skillful means, the bodhisattvas appear, enter into the 5 destinies, experience the 5 passions with the view of influencing beings. If they were placed above the arhats, gods and men would be worried and have doubts. This is why they are mentioned after the arhats. Question. That is the reason they are placed after the arhats. But why are they placed after the upasakas and upasikas? Answer. 1. Although the 4 assemblies have not completely destroyed their impurities, they will destroy them without further delay, this is why they are presented under the name of auditors. To place the bodhisattvas among these 4 assemblies would be unsuitable. Thus the bhiksunis, who have received innumerable disciplinary rules, should come after the bhiksus but before the novices. However, as the Buddha did not bestow any ceremonial on them, they come after the novices. It is the same for the bodhisattvas. They should be placed at the head of the 3 classes of saiksas, but as that would not be suitable, they are placed at the tail end. 2. Furthermore, some claim that, because of their wisdom and their qualities, the bodhisattvas surpass the arhats and pratyekabuddhas and for this reason they are mentioned separately. Question. In the Sutras of the Sravakas i.e. the lesser vehicle, 4 assemblies only are spoken of. Why is an assembly of bodhisattvas added here separately? Answer. There are 2 types of path. That of the Sravakas lesser vehicle and that of the bodhisattvas greater vehicle. The 4 assemblies, bhiksu, bhikshuni, upasaka, upasika, form the path of the Sravakas, the bodhisattva mahasattvas form the path of the bodhisattvas. For this reason, in the texts of the Sravakas, the beginning of the sutra does not say that the Buddha was dwelling in such and such a place with such and such bodhisattvas. It simply says that the Buddha was dwelling in such and such a place with such and such bhiksus. For example, the Buddha was dwelling in Varanasi with 500 bhiksus. The Buddha was dwelling in the land of Gaya with 1,000 bhiksus. The Buddha was dwelling in Sravasti with 500 bhiksus. This is the way all their sutras begin. They never say that the Buddha is accompanied by any number of bodhisattvas whatsoever. Question. There are 2 kinds of bodhisattvas. Those who have gone forth from the world and those who stay in the world. The Grastha bodhisattvas are usually cited among the bhiksus and bhiksunis. Why does the sutra cite them separately here? Answer. 1. Although they are usually ranked in the 4 assemblies, it is fitting to cite them separately. Why? Because if the bodhisattvas are necessarily included in the four assemblies, the four assemblies do not necessarily include the bodhisattvas. Why is that? They include the sravakas, the pratyekabuddhas, people who seek to be reborn among the gods, others who seek to enjoy their life. These four kinds of people are not ranked among the bodhisattvas. Why? Because they have not produced the mind of body, nor do they wish someday to be Buddha. 2. Furthermore, the bodhisattvas, having obtained faith in the doctrine of non-arising of dharmas, have suppressed all these names and conventions that characterize samsara and have left the three worlds, thus they are not ranked in the number of beings. If the sravakas who have become arhats and are nirvanized are not counted in the number of living beings, what can be said about the bodhisattvas? Thus in the Po Lo Yen to the question of Yo Po Che, a stanza says, after cessation, is it impossible to reappear? He who has disappeared is not reborn. Having entered into nirvana, does one remain there always? May the great sage tell me the truth. The Buddha answered, he who has disappeared cannot be defined. He escapes from causes and conditions, from names and characteristics. He has gone beyond the way of all speech. In one moment he disappears like an extinguished fire. If the arhats have destroyed all names and conventions, all the more so are the bodhisattvas able to destroy all dharmas. Do they not destroy them by knowing the true nature and by attaining the Dharmakaya? This is why the Mahayana mentions the bodhisattvas separately from the four assemblies. Question. At the beginning of the Mahayana Sutras, why are two assemblies mentioned, bodhisattvas and sravakas, whereas at the beginning of the sutras of the sravakas, only the assembly of bhiksus is mentioned and not that of the bodhisattvas? Answer. 1. It is in order to distinguish the two vehicles, the vehicle of the Buddhas and the vehicle of the listeners. The Sravakayana is narrow, the Buddhayana is broad. The Sravakayana is that of personal interest, action for oneself. The Buddhayana is that of benefit for all. 2. Furthermore, the Sravakayana teaches in particular the emptiness of the individual.